What's up, basketball fans? It's gonna be hard. What's up, college basketball fans? Welcome back to another episode of the College Basketball Report. I could not film a video yesterday, but today might be the best college basketball day of the season so far. The games are stacked, multiple top 10 matchups, SEC conference play kicks off. So, with that, let's get right into it. My first game for today, I got the Florida Gators and the Kentucky Wildcats playing at 11 a.m. today. A little bit of weird start for them at that time. AM game, not sure about that. Of course, Florida's been 13-0 this year, number 6 in the nation. They've played great. They got wins over UNC, Arizona State, Wake Forest. Solid year so far for them, 13-0. They haven't faced a ranked opponent yet this year, so I don't know how they're going to fare up against Kentucky, especially because it's at Rupp Arena. So I don't know about Florida this year. They got Walter Clayton Jr. He's outstanding. Um, this Florida team, they haven't played a ranked team, so it's hard to tell about a team when they haven't had like an actual good opponent that they faced. UNC is probably the best. Um, obviously, Alex Condon, 11 points a game, 7 rebounds a game. He's played great for them. They're forward. Um, they got some other good players like Elijah Martin, 15 points a game. He's been playing great. And Will Richard, 14 points a game. So, Florida this year, I don't know how to feel about them. Let's go move on to Kentucky with these two teams. Kentucky's 11-2. Have had some solid wins, bad losses. Lost by 20 to unranked Ohio State. Beat Louisville, solid win. Lost to Clemson, not a bad loss. Beat Gonzaga, great win. Beat Duke, great win. So this Kentucky team, I don't. It's these two teams. I just don't know how to feel about them. They've had bad. They've had like Florida hasn't had a great schedule. Kentucky's had great wins, but also weird losses. Like I don't know how to feel about these two teams. Um, man, Kentucky. So that loss over Ohio State by 20 is not the best. Gonzaga win great. They also beat Western Kentucky, so that's also not a bad loss. Lamont Butler for them has been playing great. Um, he's been a great addition to their squad. Coming from San Diego State, where they made that deep Final Four run in March Madness 2 years ago against FAU, where he hit that game-winning shot to put them into the championship. Kentucky as a whole, a little bit weird. They've had some solid players. Otega Away, their guard, 15 points a game, almost averaging 16, 15.9, so about 16 points a game. He's been playing great. Also, LeBron Butler, as I said, 13 points a game. Kobe Brea, great. Um, Also, Andrew Carr, 11 points a game. He's been great for them this year. Senior. This Kentucky squad is mostly seniors this year. Their 7-foot center, 260 pounds, Amari Williams, averaging 10 a game with 8 rebounds a game. He's great. I don't. It's such a hard game to pick. But I'm gonna have to side with Kentucky here. I think Kentucky has more star power. It's at Rupp Arena. It's a tough place to play, especially for Florida. This is their first big game of the year, and I don't think that they're going to be ready for this game. So give me Kentucky in this one. Give me the Wildcats. I got them covering the spread. The spread's Kentucky by 3.5. I think they'll cover it. Oh, man. But this is going to be a tight game. Excited to watch it. As I said before, these two teams, it's going to be very interesting for them. Also, at 6 p.m., you got Oklahoma and Alabama. These two teams, very similar to Florida and Kentucky. If we dive into Oklahoma here, they're 13-0, same record as Florida. They got a tough schedule coming up. Away at Alabama, they do have Texas A&M at home, and those two games should be pretty tough for them. Oklahoma, as if you guys watched, had a crazy comeback against Michigan. They beat Oklahoma State, beat Georgia Tech, beat Louisville, great win, beat Arizona, good win, beat Providence. Oklahoma has had a better strength of schedule, I would say, than Florida, so I'm a little bit higher on Oklahoma than Florida right now. Oklahoma as a whole, it's really hard to tell with these teams right now because Oklahoma, it's the beginning of conference play. You don't know how this is going to turn out. Obviously, Oklahoma and their players, Jeremiah Fears, 18 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, shooting 50 from the field. He's been playing great, carrying their team. Also, Jalen Moore, 17 points a game, playing awesome. Duke Miles, 12.5 points a game, also great. Those three have just been playing awesome ball this year. Also, Sam Godwin with 6.5 rebounds for them a game. He's also been playing great. So Oklahoma has got some star power in this matchup. Let's go on to the Crimson Tide here, though. Number 5 in the nation. They beat Creighton by 8. Great win. Beat UNC. Good win. Beat Rutgers. Good win. Beat Illinois. Great win. Lost to Purdue. Purdue has been sliding, I would say. They also beat Houston. That's a great one for them. Their only 2 losses are to Purdue and Oregon. Oregon also has been sliding, I would say, these past couple weeks. There's still those 2 losses are ranked losses. So it's not the end of the world right there. Alabama is favored by 12.5 in this game. If you look at their players, Mark Sears, 18 points a game. Grant Nelson, 8.6 rebounds a game with 13 points. He's averaging 13 points. LeBron Philon, 12 points a game. Those 3 been playing great. He's a freshman. And also, Latrell White-Wells Jr., 6'3", guard for them. 11.5 points a game. He's also been playing great. It's at Alabama. Once again, tough pace to play on the road, especially when Oklahoma, most of their good wins have been neutral site games. So I'm going to have to side with the Crimson Tide on this one. 12.5 is a little crazy. I don't know if they're going to cover that. But I like Alabama in this game. Now, for my final and third matchup of the night, it was a tough one picking between all of these. But I'm going to have to go with Texas and Texas A&M closing out the night at 8 p.m. Last SEC game of the night. These two teams have had a very interesting history. As you guys know, Texas A&M joined about a decade ago into the SEC. Texas just joined this year. Let's dive into the Texas Longhorns. This rivalry has been remarkable for hundreds of years in basketball, especially in football. These two schools hate each other. Especially it's at Texas A&M, so that home crowd is going to be loud. Texas this year haven't really faced anyone besides UConn, where they lost by 11 when they faced them at home. They lost to Ohio State to open up the year by 8. Beat Syracuse, beat St. Joseph's, beat NC State, lost to UConn right there. So they haven't had really any competition yet this year, besides UConn and Ohio State, I would say. Texas A&M beat Ohio State by 30, but I do think this game was on a neutral site court. I don't know where, but I think I remember watching this game. It was on a neutral site. Man, Texas, they haven't faced anyone. This is one thing with the SEC this year, I would say. Some of these teams haven't faced real good competition. So when they're about to face each other, it's practically a question mark. You don't know who's going to win. Texas A&M is favored by 6.5 in this game. Oh, man. It's tough game to pick. Obviously for Texas, Trey Johnson averaging almost 20 points a game. Arthur Kaluma, 6'7", 13.8 points a game, 8.5 rebounds a game. He's been playing great for them. Also, Jordan Pope averaging 11 points a game for them. He's also been great. And Shrek, 9.5 points a game, 5.5 rebounds. He's been playing great. They have a good starting lineup. Trey Johnson, been playing great all year long, 20 points a game. Let's move on to Texas A&M here. Texas A&M had a rough start to the year. They came out, lost to UCF at UCF, first game of the year. That game did not go well for them. They had a 10-point lead coming into it, lost by 3. Beat Ohio State, great win. Then they lost to Oregon. They became 4-2. They needed a win against Creighton. Pulled out by a margin of 4 against Creighton with a comeback win over them. Great win at the Players' Era Tournament. Then came back and had another comeback win, beat Rutgers, beat Wake Forest, beat Texas Tech, beat Purdue. They're on a 7-game winning streak here. All these 5 games right here, great wins. Beat Ohio State, great win. Ohio State beat Kentucky, beat Purdue, beat Texas Tech, beat Wake Forest, beat Rutgers, beat Creighton. These 2 schools have been playing some good ball. Texas A&M, I think, has been playing a little better, but the Texas A&M has had the better strength of schedule here. They played against Oregon neutral site, against Creighton neutral site, against Rutgers neutral site. They played in the Indy Classic, a neutral site game, which was practically at Purdue. It was in Indianapolis, that game. Won at Texas Tech, great win. Wade Taylor, the 4th on their team, has had a little bit of a fall off this year. He's still averaging 16 a game. Zerg Phelps, 12 points a game. Henry Coleman, 9 points a game with 5 rebounds. Henry Coleman's playing awesome ball this year. He's definitely had a great comeback. Pharrell Payne, transfer from Minnesota, 7 points a game. Manuel Basicki, 7 points a game. And Anderson Garcia, 5 points a game with 6 rebounds. The 2 people that I would like to watch in this game. Now I'm a little biased here. I'm a Texas A&M fan. But when you look at the strength of schedule, Texas A&M has had better wins, better strength of schedule. They played some tough away games. You don't see that out of Texas. Their schedule has been a little bit light work this year, besides Ohio State and UConn. Anderson Garcia and Solomon Washington, watch those two on the boards tonight. They're going to be diving on the court everywhere. Those 2 are deadly when it comes to rebounds. Texas A&M also is the number 1 rebounding team in Division I right now, with 43 rebounds a game. That is about all you have to say. This team is pure grit. They'll play some ugly ball. They'll miss a bunch of shots, but their second chance points, because they have those two guys, is what keeps them in games. Which is why I'm gonna have to go with the Aggies on this one. I think they'll cover the spread. The spread is 6.5. I think they'll win by probably more. Texas, I was a little bit high on them coming into this game, but Texas A&M this year has been playing some great ball. They've struggled in non-conference schedule these past couple years. Not this year. 7 straight wins. They're 11-2. Give me the Aggies in this one. And that's a wrap for my top 3 games. All SEC play. I mean, you can see it. Arkansas, Tennessee was a good one I was thinking about picking. Baylor, Iowa State was a good one. I'll go through who I think will win. I think Georgia will pull off the upset. I think Tennessee will win this one. I think Houston will beat BYU. I think UCLA will beat Nebraska. I got Iowa State, Mississippi State, Duke. I'm going to have Arizona with the upset here. Auburn, but I think Missouri could play that game close. Then once again, I have Alabama, Texas A&M. I also have Gonzaga winning. But for my top 3 games, I got Kentucky beating Florida at Rupp Arena, Alabama beating Oklahoma, and Texas A&M beating Texas. Those are my top 3 games today for you. Enjoy your hoops today. It's going to be a good one, the best of the year. So go watch some basketball, and I will see you guys tomorrow.